Okay, so I get questions about this chart on my Twitter all the time, and I just want to clarify what it is. So it's called the spaghetti chart. I want to give full credit to Bitcoin Charlie. That's BTC underscore Charlie on Twitter. Great fucking trader. From what I know, I don't follow him too closely, but I just know that he's been great as far as I know, and he's just a nice ass dude on Twitter. So I respect the fella. And this is his spaghetti chart. Well, I'm sure it's not his per se, but I know where I first got it was Bitcoin Charlie. So what is it? So essentially it's a bunch of alt pairs, whatever you decide to put in there, and it compares their strength on line charts. So essentially how do you set it up is you go up here, you go to new layout, and I don't know what plan you need in order to have multiple layouts, but I have a bunch of different layouts here, as you can see. Then you press new layout, and then you're probably on BTC. I can show you from scratch. So you're on BTC, we go to line chart, and this is where you press right here. It's very simple to set up, compare, add symbol, and then you add all the altcoins that you're looking at. And I would just say add every altcoin you know if you want to. It could be less overseeable if you do so, but you're going to get a better overview of what is strong relative in the entire market rather than just to what's in your watch list right now. And then you just press on it. And now you can say ENJ compared to BTC, and you can change what BTC is as a type of chart here to, let's say, something like step line, and you can kind of always tell what Bitcoin is. But once we start getting into the nitty gritty, you won't really be able to see. Like on my chart, it's one of these, so we can change it to step line, but you can't really tell it's a step line because of all the other charts, right? But here, and then you just keep comparing and you keep saying, okay, Ordi, Pyth, boom, and you just throw in all these charts, and before you know it, you have an entire coherent spaghetti chart, as I do. I don't know if I can delete this, but I'll delete it later. So how can you use it, right? Essentially, it's really just to show you what's strong and what's weak in the market. And you can see that if we zoom out, we go to the hourly time frame, and you zoom out enough, you can see that there's a few coins that have outperformed in the long run since August 2023. Major one, TRB. Ordi has recently put in crazy highs, and otherwise there's really no competition to TRB, with TIA, Rune, INJ, etc. being slightly under here. But that's not how I want to use it, because this is in the long run and I want to use it in the short run. So you can of course just grab here, drag it to the right, or to the left rather, and you slowly zoom out or zoom in to more recent times. So you can see here 7 December till 12 December, we can see what has performed well, including, I think this is TRB. Yeah, okay, TRB, and then we have TI here, and you can see what's performing well right now. Now I'm going to go to 15 minute. And you can see here that this is the majority of all coins. And you can see the little pinging line, that's BTC. So all of these under BTC are underperforming BTC, while all of this is outperforming BTC, right? So what are we going to do here? What we're going to do is we're going to go to 15 minute, and this is a great way to just use it simply, which is drag it towards, let's say, you see this drop, this was yesterday, I think, and we had that major dip in the market. So we're just going to drag this all the way to the left, making that our beginning point of the chart, right? And this is where you can tell straight from the beginning what is performing right after the dip, and what is running correctly. So if you were to use the replay tool and drag here, you're going to see that this coin, whatever this is, TRB, had a crazy bounce off of that dump. And if you look at today, which one is it? TIA, and TRB is right here at 4th place, 5th place on the strongest of the coins from that bounce. Here's another one, this purple one, big time. So if you just double click on it, you can see which one it is. Big time, we can see it's right up here, 3rd, performed really well right after the bounce. Right here, what do we have? INJ performed very well after the bounce. And if you longed all of these right off that dip, right, showing insane strength, you can see Bitcoin only has a few underperformers here. Then you had some of the strongest ones were indicated straight off the beginning on the spaghetti chart, right? Now you can of course keep dragging this down, since this is down to 11 December, but if you are trading lower time frames, you can see what is kind of doing well right now. And you can even start seeing like this had this sudden spike up here. So this was an underperformer the whole time. I had a sudden spike up, which is big time. And then you can say, okay, this looks suddenly very strong. And then you go over to your normal chart, right? And you go to big time. There we go. Right? And this is on the 15 minute since 2:30. The bounce happened at 10:30. So just this is of course hindsight, but I just need to show you guys what this would look like. Bounce was at 10:30 today. Boom. So this is where it showed relative strength, right? So this is where you can start looking. Is this correct? Let me just double check this. Tuesday, 10:30, 12 December. Yeah, it is. So this bounce while everything else dumped at this time. So now you can say, okay, look, big time is showing relative strength here. Let me spot a long. Boom, and we just play this out simply. And you're like, oh, that's a nice TWAP bounce, whatever your strategy is. And you long this here because it was showing relative strength on the charts. And then before you know it, this strength actually works out to put in the pump or whatever it was. This is already a nice move, but I'm sure it did more due to, of course, hindsight. But right, and that was something that you could have played just off of relative strength to everything else at this point. Everything was dumping, everything was dumping, everything was dumping. And then there was big time that was going up, and some of these other altcoins that were either flat or going up. So this Beam was another nice one, which I played today. Atom was another nice one. I think this was Tia. And that's essentially how you can play spaghetti chart. One of many ways you can play it. Yeah, you can just drag it out and drag it around to see different time frames. That will show you what has been doing well and what has been doing poorly. You can see here, whatever this is, 0x has been underperforming massively recently, noticeably at least since 13 November. So yeah, that's essentially what I would tell you. That's essentially everything there's to say from me now, and how you set it up and everything about the spaghetti chart.